All right. I'm back with you. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I have a
Good.
question for you, Victor.
Sure, sure.
How are you doing with Investor Deal Pro?
Uh, do you want the truth or do you want me to blow smoke?
I want the truth. I want the truth.
um, I'm not really liking what I'm getting from it in terms of the quality of the leads. I'm just getting a bunch of stuff that none of it is really. I can't control what it is I'm getting. I can't filter the leads to come in the way that I want them to come in, the type of leads that I'm looking for. I'm a pretty house guy. That's my first go-to move, and then I do regular wholesaling after that. But in the case of that, I can't really filter my leads, and I just get a bunch of junk.
Same here. And I was debating about just dropping that all together, but then I want to hold on to see how it's going to be after he upgraded. Okay. I think
You're
what he
exactly
did,
the same place I am.
I think he jumped in and started that program and maybe to test the water and didn't really think it through, you know, because
Yeah,
right now it's going to take a lot of work to get that up.
yeah, yeah. And I unfortunately, I paid the year in advance on the whole thing. So I have to talk to their customer service and see. I'm willing to even put it on hold and let them work it out, and then go back on or whatever once they do some stuff. But I don't think I want to. I want to keep. Well, I don't have to keep paying. I don't have a monthly or anything like that. The other thing that I was thinking about doing with it, though, is is to use it to build my buyers list,
Okay.
and to build my buyers list, and also to co-wholesale, because that seems to be most of what I get on that platform is a bunch of other wholesaler stuff.
Right.
So I figure, okay, if I'm getting a bunch of wholesaler stuff, maybe I'll just, start communicating with these wholesalers and create a situation with them where I can co-wholesale more deals.
Okay. Well,
So,
for me right now, it's just not working. And I've been using REI Simple.
okay,
And it's man, I got my VAs and they just have it gets difficult. Okay. And they keep
with
running into REI Simple trying to learn everything because it's not a straightforward system. Okay.
yeah,
You go here, you go here, you do this and do this. It's too much. And we're starting to now build a Podio. We got a free version of Podio,
yeah.
and we're starting to build that site. So I think we're gonna switch to Podio, and I think that's gonna work out pretty good.
So the advantage of the Podio is that you can design it as you go, and
Right.
you can kind of look and see what your work patterns are, what your systems want to look like, and you can design Podio accordingly.
Right.
You just have to be careful with the shiny new toy thing on Podio because it has so many features. There are
But
literally 1,000 add-ins that you can put on it.
only put on what you're gonna use.
That's right.
Keep it simple.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. But with REI Simple, okay, I feel like I'm wasting money. And
Yeah.
because like with my VA, it's costing me like I think 125, and then $4 a phone number. And
Yeah.
if you send a text in REI Simple, it's 15 cents to send, 15 cents to receive. Okay.
Is that Joe? Is that Joe's system?
Yes.
Yeah, he overcharges for everything, man. I'm like, wow, Joe, what's the deal with you?
I was in the beginning. I've been following Joe McCall since back 2008,
Yeah.
and I really in the beginning I really liked Joe. Okay, I thought he was a straight shooter, but as time go in, it's all about the money. He wants to charge for everything.
He ta-
He repackaged stuff, and then he wants to recharge for it.
That's exactly my impression of him too. I was the same way. He's the one who actually got me started on the lease option game. I started
Right.
there and then I kind of expanded out and learned from different people. But he was my introduction to lease options.
Well,
And then
Wendy Patton did. It was introduced through Wendy Patton.
yeah, Whitney's good too. She's been around for forever too. I think Whitney's been around for like 15 years or so doing it.
Yeah,
Nah,
maybe
that's
20.
that's who Joe learned from.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember when Joe gave his first interview when he went on to the platform with Wendy Patton, and then he had a course for $500, and I
Hmm.
purchased that course, and I bet you that was 15. That was in 2008, somewhere
Yeah,
back there.
yeah. Right when the market collapsed.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get away from that course with the REI Simple. I mean, it's a great course, but when my
Uh-huh.
VAs go in there to work, they run into problems doing this, they run into problems with that. Okay. And I give them time to go in to watch the videos, even after watch the videos, and they have some problems with some of the stuff. So I just say, hey, you know what? We build a Portio platform and something, keep it simple.
Yeah, it's hard because you find yourself paying them to learn, to watch videos and stuff, and that's
Yeah,
not exactly the best use of your money.
right. And so we get away from that. And so now I think I got my subscription in, and I don't think I'm going to renew that. I'm going to just call and cancel it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
his information is great, but the system sucks.
That's keeping it 100. You're right. I haven't been real pleased with what I've been doing, and like you, my VA is not my VA. I find that she even avoids it. Right. Like I have to
Yeah,
remind her to go back in there and do it because I know why, because it's such a challenge for her.
right, right.
Yeah. So I am actually on Freedom Soft, and
Okay,
I pay $200 a month. You know, full disclosure here, I pay $200 a month for Freedom Soft. But there's a few things. I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit about how my system looks. So Freedom Soft is my CRM and my primary setup. I like it because um, they spend a lot of time making sure that that system stays up. Like we haven't had any downtime with Freedom Soft at all whatsoever.
right.
Included with my $200 a month is 6,000 leads.
Hmm.
So I can pull down 6,000 leads, and it has all of the systems. It has texting, it has voicemail, it has email, it has all of the systems within it. It is really so robust that me and my VA are just going through it systematically, to figure out exactly how we're going to use it. So we're kind of in a rhythm right now. She actually loves it. She actually is like, yeah, I love this, and she's getting a real good hang of it. So we've been making progress. Now it's just a matter of me going back in and refining the leads that I'm going to pull from there and refining the messages that I'm sending out to be able to get a much stronger response. Because we can talk about leads a little bit. One of the reasons why I do the lease option game and stuff like that is because when I first got started, the money was so short till I had to, just pick the low hanging fruit, right? I had to pick the things that were easy to get to. And one of the things that's easy to get to is obviously the lease option game, because you can go to Zillow, you can pull a lot of this stuff by yourself if you have time. And at the time I had more time than anything, right? So I would just go into the system and I would go to Zillow and I would set up all of these filters and have Zillow just notify me, right? And I get a notification on my cell phone and I'll call the person.
Right.
So that's how I started off. A real cheap, it was effective for me at the time. So then, slowly but surely, I ramped it up, right? But what I'm finding now is that when I go into doing regular prospecting, buying leads, or even taking the leads that I'm getting off of my system as part of my Freedom Soft program, so much time is wasted because you get a lot of real negative responses, real negative feedback because those people aren't trying to be contacted. And I'm spending money also on skip tracing, and I'll get to the skip tracing part. I'm spending money on skip tracing to people who have very little interest in what in what I have to offer. Now, I find that I really have to do that no matter what. Like I have to go that process because you have to reach some people in order to make this game work. So what I do though is I will pull my leads. I get the 6,000 leads, so I get those leads, and I always skip trace through automated REI. Automated REI, in case you guys don't know how that works, the reason why you're waiting for a number of days or so for your leads is because the automated REI, I believe, aggregates. What I mean by that is they collect a large number of orders all at once. Okay. And then after they collect a large number, once they get to a certain threshold, then they all go in at once and they go, I don't know if it's LexisNexis or um, it's another aggregator that they go to and they get all of the leads skipped all at once. And so we're able to skip leads at 5 cents a lead. You have to wait, but for me, that's worth it, especially with some of these leads, like when you're looking for vacant houses or pre-foreclosures and stuff, those leads, you have to connect with them and you have to systematically try to, get them on your, into your program and listen to your conversation and whatnot. And they can be really nasty when you try to connect with them, if you guys haven't already realized that.
Yeah,
They're
I
not,
realize that. I realize that.
yeah, excuse me, you guys. I'm actually outside because they're doing work, so I may have to move periodically to get the sun out of the computer. Anyway, so when you skip trace with automated REI, even though you have to wait, it's worth it. I'll give you an example. If I skip trace through Freedom Soft, it's as much as 45 cents a skip. Now, the advantage is it comes back like in minutes. So if I have a single or, a driving for dollars list and it's just maybe I have 10 or 20 or whatever, I'll go ahead and break it off, right? And just get them right now and see if I can get back to the person, right away. Other than that, it's not really to my advantage to spend 45 cents for every skip. So between my system, my CRM and lead generator and whatnot, and automated REI, which I also use for my scraping. I use both of them. I use Freedom Soft and automated REI for scraping because sometimes they come up with different information. I don't know how because they are pulling from Zillow, but oh well. So I'll use those for scraping. I always use automated REI for skipping unless it's an emergency and I need a number right now.
Would you
And
use
then from
batch
there,
skip? Would you use batch skip tracing? You hear me?
I don't. I no. Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't. No. I'm telling you what I use. I use automated REI for all my skip tracing. I don't. So the reason why is because and Philip, that's a good point. I don't try to do. I started off where I had all these systems and I was doing all of this stuff, right? And it was all starting to become redundant. So I don't go around. What you want to do right now is you want to find something that works for you. Hold on, guys. I got people in here in the middle. You want to find something that works for you. Now, initially, you may go through. If a lot of these systems, they have the 2-week trials or 14-day trials, whatever. If you do a 14-day trial, don't do it until you're ready to do it. In other words, don't just do it because it pops up because it'll never be seen again. You know the deal, right? You'll never see this offer again. Bullshit. You'll see it next week.
Yeah.
So when you're ready to do your 14-day, do your 14-day. But work your way through the system in that 14 days and decide. That's the only way you're going to, and trust me, I've learned this the hard way. I've spent thousands of dollars unnecessarily testing systems, keeping them too long, and only to find out that they didn't really work for me. So at this point now, I'm absolutely satisfied. I'm happy with Freedom Soft in as much as that for $200, it gives me pretty much everything that I need. Uh, my VA can use it. She knows how to use it. It's effective. So we're moving through the processes. I get 6,000 leads a month for the $200. And I'm not promoting Freedom Soft at all. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not, you guys find what works for you and stick to it, and just go past all of the promotions that you're going to start getting on every email, on every game you play on your phone. And you're going to get so many you know how it is, man. The algorithm, once it knows you're in real estate, you're going to get so much crap coming your way till it's going to be impossible. So do the trials. This is my suggestion. Do the trials. Do them only when you're ready to actually walk through the trials. In other words, take the 2 weeks to really work through the system. Don't put any permanent information in there. Just kind of let the system do what it does. And if you find that that you like it, stick with that one, at least for a period of time. Once you have it for a period of time and you're satisfied with it, then you can do things like, save a little bit of money by doing them for a year or, whatever the deal is. But that's
Right.
going to be the best way for you to actually, save money on the front end, because this game can get really expensive really fast.
Right. So are you getting quality leads from Freedom Soft? The leads that you're getting are quality?
Quality, they're
Are
leads.
you closing? Are you closing?
I mean, I have closed, but it's a process. And when you say quality leads, here's the thing to understand about leads. No one lead is necessarily better than the other unless you happen to catch them on D-Day.
Right.
What I mean by that is you're calling pre-foreclosure. Pre-foreclosure clients tend to be the client who wants to bury his head in the sand and doesn't realize the problem that he's facing until it's too late. Okay? Then there'll be a day when he realizes that I need to do something right now. You may get lucky, and I've done this where I got lucky. I got on the phone and I got that guy on D-Day. And I was able, because of the training, to be able to have a strong conversation, commit him to something, and move forward with getting him, on some paperwork and on the way to closing. So yes, okay. But most leads, when you get most of these leads, they're a process, and you have to determine what your process is going to be, right? My first step is always to do a text blast. Why do I do a text blast first? Because they don't have a problem telling you off on a text blast, and I don't care that they told me off on a text blast. I don't care that they called me names. I don't care about none of that shit. It's just on to the next one, right? So right. Now you filter down to somebody who is like, well, what's your offer? Or, what do you mean by terms or whatever, right? At least they're now at a question. So once they get to a question, now I'm going to a ringless voicemail and have my VA introduce herself, because she has a very disarming, very sweet voice, very kind personality, right? So she'll then have a conversation with them and fill out the form. If they're willing to fill out the form, now we're on to the next step. And the next step is going to be where I actually call them and make them a verbal offer. And we are now able to send a contract agreement over directly out of Freedom Soft. So we've now graduated to the point at which if I'm on the phone with you, I can say, look, I'm sending you something over right now, and take a look at it And is there anybody else that you need to speak with about this, or can we go ahead and agree on this right now while we're on the phone? No, I need to run it by. I need to, digest this or whatever. Okay, can we get together at 4:00?
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. 4:00 is good. Okay, and the close.
Right.
So I'll lock them in for that. So that's kind of my process. But understand that there, when you say good leads are made, not bought.
Okay.
Good leads are made, not bought, because none of those leads are sitting there. And understand, you're probably not the only one who called. I don't have to tell you this because you've already heard this whole deal, right? You're not the only one that's calling. So there's a process to building a relationship, to building credibility with the seller, and letting them know that you're a real person who's there to do a real deal.
Right.
Okay. So it doesn't change, you guys. It doesn't change. There's no magic thing like, oh, I got terrible leads or I got great leads. Sometimes it's just, well, obviously you have to get your conversation game up. You have to be able to talk to these people and be able to understand what they're saying and close them on it.
Right.
But there's no way you can avoid the process. There's nobody that's sitting there waiting for, oh my God, I hope Jerry calls today. I hope Jerry calls right now because I'm ready to do a deal. Like, there is no such thing, right?
Right.
So now, you have to go back. What's my budget? What kind of lead generation am I doing? And now, how am I going to nurture those leads and warm those leads up to a point at which they want to talk to me? Sometimes it's on the first text. Great, wonderful. Very rarely does that happen with cold leads. But even the vacant ones, like a lot of, and you probably experienced this, right? You call these vacant homeowners and they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, whatever. And now they're bothered because they've gotten 25 calls in the last hour.
Okay.
So now you have to determine, okay, am I going to continue to do this process or am I going to combine it with direct mail? Well, as soon as you make a direct mail decision, understand that you just changed your budget considerably.
Right.
Because direct mail is a whole nother animal. I use mail strategically. In other words, if I talk to somebody and they're kind of on the fence, I'll raise my credibility by sending them a piece or a letter. And that's only to raise my credibility with them, just to let them know that, oh, damn, this guy has, a multi-pronged approach to what he's doing. He must be serious.
So can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Are you consistently doing 3 to 4 deals or 4 to 5 deals a month consistently?
I am now.
Okay.
I am now. But typically so last month I did 5 deals. Okay. Well, actually not last month, this month, the month of October. So the month of October, I'll do 5 deals, but 2 of those deals were co-wholesale deals.
Okay.
Okay. 2 of those deals were where people contacted me and said, can you help me with the deal? And if you do, we'll split the profits or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the real honest of it. My own personal deals were 3 of those 5, where they were from lead generation, lead follow-up, getting them on a contract and closing the deal.
Right.
So next month, I'm actually, looking at doing anywhere from 7 to 9 deals, 4 of which will more than likely be co-wholesale deals.
Okay.
So that's what it looks like for me.
Okay.
Hey, welcome everybody. I know we've been talking. You guys, excuse me if you see my picture and everything kind of going in and out. I'm actually outdoors because they're doing work on the house and I can't really get in there. So I'm outdoors right now, and I'm trying to, I didn't want to let anybody down by not showing up. So we're going to do the best we can under the circumstances. So if you see me go off camera, just because I'm moving out of the sunlight, which I'm gonna have to do here in a couple of seconds, but we didn't want anything to stop us. I want to definitely support all of you guys, and
That's true dedication. That's true.
I'm here for you, Philip. I'm here for you, buddy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
For sure. Yeah, so hey, I appreciate you guys, man, for showing up every single week and working through this thing, because believe it or not, I get as much out of doing these things as you get out of them. At least I hope you're getting something out of them. But I get as much out of it as you guys do. I get a chance to practice. I get a chance to answer questions. I get a chance to get some input from all of you guys. So I want you to know that you're as valuable to me as hopefully I am to you every single week that we do this. So again, I appreciate everyone for showing up. I see, besides Jerry, I see Philip Montoya is here. Philip Cowles is here. Who else we got? Jaime Cuevas is in the house. Orlando, Sandra Kayulu, Aaron, Rick, Marvin Elmore, Jonathan, my man, is here. Oh, there's my doll. Alus is here. All right. Thank you guys
Hey,
all for
Vic.
being here. Hey, Alus, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah. I heard from our folks, they're excited. They got their little gift.
Oh yeah.
They were
nice.
gushing. Yeah, they were gushing over it. Yeah, they're gushing over it, and they're gushing over you. So, great job.
You.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you so much for the help. I appreciate
hey, you guys. Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime. You guys, I am going to go off camera for a second so I can move, but I can hear anybody. If you guys have any questions, just shoot them.
I mean, if you want, you can go off screen and make it a little better, right?
Oh, I thought I was off screen, but evidently not.
Nah, you fading.
There you go. All right, you guys have some questions, or does anybody have a role play scenario we want to go through? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
I can.
All right. Well, let's rock and roll. I know somebody got some role play.
I actually have a question, because I noticed that we never really role play how the conversation goes when we're dealing with a tenant buyer.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
So that would be cool to role play that.
That's why you are so appreciated, for bringing the noise. Bringing the noise. Okay. So, you want to do it with me?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay. So, what
I'm
role
outside,
do you want me?
so you're gonna hear a lot of noise.
Oh, okay. You want me to try to do it with someone else, or you good?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, because this is how it really is. when you talk to people, they don't put the kids away. Okay, so
Right.
you want me to you want to be calling me about renting my spot? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll call you.
All right.
So ring. Hi, I'm actually calling about a home. I see you said your lease. You're looking for someone to lease, to rent. What is that?
Yes, it's actually which home were you referring to? The one on Main Street?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
It's a beautiful
perfect.
home.
Oh, well, thank you. So you've had a chance to drive by?
No, I was just looking at the pictures.
You were just looking at the pictures? Okay. So here is my first suggestion for you, is that you actually drive by the home. I find that it's best if you take a look at the neighborhood, take a look at the community and everything. And then we can actually, talk about whether or not you're actually still interested. Is that something you can do today, or is tomorrow better?
Yeah, I could try to drive by today. But let me ask you, you're asking for 10,000 down? Why so high?
Well, because, this is a lease to purchase situation. So in other words, it is significantly less of a down payment than you would pay if you were, say, trying to qualify for a conventional loan, unless you were doing FHA. So normally, who our client is someone who, needs a little bit of time for whatever reason in order to be able to fully qualify for a mortgage. All right. So typically, someone who's self-employed and doesn't have enough deposits or whatever because their bank is asking for 2 years. Somebody who just started their job. Somebody who needs to save up some additional money and doesn't have enough down payment. Do you fit any of those categories?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm actually looking for a home, but like you said, I don't have enough to put down. So you're saying that I can. So okay. So how does the process work? Will you help me get qualified? What do I have to do?
Absolutely. So you actually would come in and you would pay a deposit. As you can tell, it's significantly less than you would pay on a conventional situation. You would become the tenant buyer of the home. Okay. So now you are responsible for the property. There is, there's no landlord for you to call. You become a home owner. All right. So it's not a rental like you have traditionally. So you become a homeowner, and what you do is as you pay your monthly rents and everything, at some point you'll be able to qualify, and we can help you with that. Help you improve your credit, do whatever it is that you need to do. But you do have to have a decent starting point. In other words, you need to have some down payment money. And you need to not have, because we do a criminal background check, we do a tenant background check, and obviously we do a credit check. So as long as all of those things are, in relative order, it's not a problem. We get you into a house and you have time now to, fix everything, put everything in order to ideally be able to qualify for a house, and you'll be able to qualify for the house based on the price minus your down payment.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Okay, so once I agree and I put down my down payment, now is there something such something like a owner's credit or something like
a
that?
rent
So
credit?
what I'm trying to a rent credit, there you go.
Okay, something where actually, you know what, we don't do that. And the reason why is because it's become such an issue in terms of the management of such a process, and we've had it break down more times than we've had it work. So what we do instead is we allow you to lock your price in right up front. So now
so
you can potentially benefit from the equity increase that may occur over this time because you've already locked in your price for next year.
Okay. So you're telling me that if I lock in this, if I go into this lease option, you say, and I'm there for a whole year, I will not get any credit towards the purchase of the home. I would still have to pay the full price. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, basically the price is locked in. You know your price going in. Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the advantage though. Suppose you start having hold on one second, please. Let me let somebody in the waiting room. Suppose the value goes up, 5-10%. That's yours. That's the advantage of the way we set it up. Yeah. So you can actually win on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to definitely have to think about it because I wouldn't want to. It would really suck for me to. I understand the advantages, but it would really suck to make a payment for 2 years and not, have the price go down or receive a credit at the end of the term.
Oh, do you plan on making a payment for 2 years? You really think it's going to take you that long to qualify for a mortgage on your own? Understand that the sooner you qualify for your mortgage, the sooner you'll be out of this situation and you'll be a full homeowner. And our program really is designed to help you, even though it is for 2 years. We like to think of 2 years as the worst case scenario. We'd like to ideally have you in position to be out of this within 1 year.
Okay, I
But
got
you
you.
know, I get it. If you don't think, you know, if you
Keep
don't
it
think
down,
that works
baby.
for you, but understand, I'm gonna just paint a real quick picture for you. I know you're busy. I hear your kids in the background, but if you were to get a mortgage starting right now, right? Do you understand that for the first 15 years of that mortgage, you would not be chipping into the equity at all?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that for me? Keep it down.
No, I
Can you
said, do you
repeat
understand
that
that
for?
for the first 15 years, definitely for the first 10 years of that mortgage, you would not be paying into the equity at all?
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you
Do you
asking
understand how
me
mortgages
if I
work?
think?
I'm
No.
asking you.
I'm new
Yeah.
to this. I don't
Have you
know.
ever? Yeah. Yeah. So here's what I suggest you do: go to any website and do a 30-year amortized mortgage calculation, and you'll see when you'll actually start paying on your equity. It won't
Gotcha.
be until year. Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, and it sounds like it's a really good argument. But the truth of the matter is if we were to finance you right now today, you still wouldn't be paying down in your equity for some time on your mortgage payment.
Okay.
So you know we find that when you look at the numbers, it really doesn't matter one way or another. And our plan is to get you into where you're the full homeowner within a short period of time.
Okay.
Is that something we can do today, or maybe not?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It sounds like it's definitely something I would have to talk over with my spouse before we can agree to anything.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you know, typically I don't spend that much time explaining something unless you're ready to go. But you know, feel free to call me back whenever you're ready. You know, and we'll take a look and see if the property's still available. If it's still available, I'll be more than happy to you know move you towards the process of qualifying for it and everything else. That's fine with me.
All right, that sounds good. I do thank you for your time, Victor.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks for calling.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. Because I was just curious, how does the conversation, look like when you're speaking to a tenant buyer? Which I'm
Yeah,
glad we
yeah.
did role play on that.
Yeah, I played it out longer only because I wanted you to get some of the, you know, nuance of what occurs sometimes in that
Hmm.
conversation. But the truth of the matter is, initially, I would say, you know, how much money do you have to work with?
Okay,
Okay. And what can you afford on a monthly basis?
gotcha.
Those are
That,
typically
yeah.
my first two questions. So you know, just to back up a bit, and I apologize if I took you guys down that road, but I wanted to expand the conversation so you'll get more questions in, so I'll give you more responses, right? But really, the first thing I say, okay, thanks for calling. Let me. Do you understand that this is a lease to purchase situation? We could keep role playing.
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
good. So this requires a down payment.
Hmm.
How much money are you working with?
2000.
Ah, mm, you know, that's probably you're probably more suited for a normal rent situation. You know, where
Hmm.
you can put down, you know, your first and last, and move into the property. This is not that. This is a purchase situation. We're trying to put you in position to be a homeowner within the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, so how much would I need? If my
Well,
2000
we
won't be
well
enough?
we typically look for something in the range of about 15,000 as a down payment, and then there's going to be a monthly payment while we prepare you to be able to qualify for the mortgage on your own.
Okay.
How much
Okay.
can you afford a month?
1200.
1,200.
That would
Okay.
be my
So
max.
okay, your monthly payment works in terms of what we are able to do for you, but you would definitely have to come up with more down payment in order for this to be viable. Okay.
Okay. Now, does it have to be in my name? Can I put it in my mother's name? Can I
Um,
put it in my mother's name?
then your mother would be the one who would qualify.
I got you.
We would run her credit and make sure that she's in good order. But we run the credit of all of the adults living in the house. So
Okay.
while we could put in her name, we would still need to get any adult information that's moving into the house. Is that okay with you?
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Even if you're not the one, you know. on the agreement at this point. Yeah, we will have to vet you a little bit because obviously we have to protect the interest of the property owner.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you, Luz.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vic.
You're welcome.
Victor,
Yes, Sandra, how are you?
hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I have a question. When you're having these conversations with the tenant buyer,
Yeah.
a lot of times, I haven't had my first deal yet, so maybe I probably should be prefacing it in a different way, but I can speak for myself in terms of like, I think sometimes people just think about the money that they have in their savings account, right? Or their checking account. But
Okay.
do you ever encourage them or kind of put it out there where, people can also take money out of their 401k for their down payment? That could be an option.
Um, I personally don't really push that hard.
Okay.
Probably because I trust that, the properties that I get, that we get, they're nice properties. They're moving properties. And I've never had a problem because there's going to be another call coming in on this deal in a minute. And I'm not
Mhm.
going to have to be a counselor. They're going to cut a
Okay.
check.
Okay.
You get that? That's sort of my attitude, But if they bring it up, for instance, if you and I are having a conversation and I say, look, I need $15,000 down, Sandra. Are you able to do that right now?
Well, I don't have that money in my savings account, but I do have my 401k or my retirement account.
Is that
Would that
something? Is that
would
something
that money?
you want? Is that something you want to do? Is that because I don't want to force this on you, but whatever you get your resources, understand that you are moving into home ownership. So if it's me, I'm probably thinking it's worth it, but that's the decision that you'll have to make, Sandra.
Okay. But that you would be able to accept that though, right? If I was to take money out of my you would be able to accept that, right?
Oh yeah, I don't judge where the money's coming from as long as it's coming from you, and I try to avoid any illegal money. So if it's drug money or anything like that, if we get a sense that that's the kind of conversation we're having, we'll definitely dismiss ourselves. But any legitimate money, as long as it's yours, we're good with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Victor, I have to go back again to this. How do you know if it's illegal drug money? That's the thing, is that if you're having a conversation with somebody.
I don't.
Okay.
I have to get a sense of it. It's through my conversation, it's through my instincts, it's through my feeling about it, and kind of there will be certain clues, and this is a great conversation for you guys. Whenever you find somebody who is kind of in that category, you'll get certain clues. One of the clues is, ironically, something Alou said, which is, can I put it in somebody else's name? Well, why do you want to do that? Right? If they want to put in somebody else's name, that's your first red flag.
Mm.
Because typically, if it's illegal money, that's the first thing they'll want to do. I'm gonna put it in my mother's name. I'm gonna put it in my baby's mama's name.
Okay.
Those kind of comments. So that kind of raises your antenna. You can never be in a situation where you accuse these people or assume that this money, you don't want to go there and you don't want to, basically the only thing that you can do at a certain point is that you are just going to slowly and gracefully drift, fade to black on them.
Okay.
If you really feel that uncomfortable, you're gonna just fade to black on them. Stop taking their calls or doing whatever. If you get to that point and your conscience is your guide.
What if they
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. What if they've driven by their property, they like their property, they would like to give you a deposit. Let's say they'd like to give you a deposit on Monday, but they know they can get the rest of that money on a Friday. Do you still work with them, or no? They have to have the entire down payment right there in one hit.
That depends. It depends partially on how much activity I have on that house, because I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get out of it as much as I can. So you know, if they make a deposit, what I'll probably do, I haven't had this situation personally, but I'll probably make part of it non-refundable.
Okay.
Make part of it non-refundable, you know, or all of it, whatever. Make it a non-refundable. If they're willing to do a non-refundable deposit, they're serious.
Okay. Do you
They're
have them
serious.
sign a document? Do you have them sign
Yeah,
a document just as this, they
yeah,
know that the money's not coming back, it's non-refundable, just to cover yourself?
absolutely,
Okay.
without a doubt. Oh yeah, yeah. No money, nothing exchanges hands until you have a signature on a dotted line.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
everything, and Sandra, if you do have a situation like that, make sure to use a neutral third party, such as an escrow or an attorney, to hold the money.
Oh, okay. Rather than myself,
Don't
rather
take,
than, okay.
don't take the money yourself. Don't take the money yourself, because you can put yourself into a real precarious situation. You want to put it into an escrow. They'll put it into a trust account, and if monies have to be refunded or anything like that, the escrow will do it, and you can
Oh,
charge
wow.
them for that service.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I was gonna ask.
if I'm holding money like that, I'm not holding money like that in my bank account or in my pocket. It ain't
Okay.
going down that way.
Okay.
So how much would that be for like a title to hold it in escrow?
You would have to call, and they would have, and they would tell you, you know, just check with the local attorney or local escrow. They'll have a process, or they'll send you a rate sheet that'll tell you exactly what anything costs.
So the tenant buyer pays for that, the one who putting the money in deposit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could pay it as part of the overall cost of the down. See, so my goal is to make 10,000. My basic goal is to make 10,000 in every deal. It's arbitrary. That's just what works for me. Yours may be different, right? You may be needing to make 20,000. You hear guys out there all the time saying, "I don't do a deal if I can't make 20,000." Okay, that's their threshold, right? Mine's is 10. So if you notice, I asked for 15.
Okay.
Right? So
the
5,000 is going to cover my deposit. Typically, you know, I agree to somewhere between $2,000 to $3,500 deposit to the owner. It's going to pay for my it's going to pay for their home warranty. It's going to pay for, you know, all the other little ancillary stuff, and there'll more than likely be a little bit of change left over. So that handles all of that. So that's how I set mine up. That's my thinking process. I'm gonna get 15, 10 in pocket, 5 for ancillary costs, and to close the deal with the seller.
Okay. So when you do that, you do 2 different contracts for the tenant buyer, like one for rental and the other one for a lease option. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got that.
You are absolutely correct. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Because just to say,
and they get a complete package. They get a complete package, and I informed them. You know, I won't tell you all my secrets right now, but I informed them what documents that they would want to go down and record as well to protect their position, so that the seller, you know, can't, you know, do something that will compromise their position, because they're now locked in and they paid money.
A Miranda rights option. That's the name of it.
No, Miranda rights are your right to, you know, to stay silent.
Oh, that's another word. Wrong word.
You were thinking about the last time they jacked you? No. I'm kidding.
Down low.
Okay, my bad. Hey, you guys got any more questions? I see everybody fade to black. That means that you guys are either on the phone or you're hiding. Don't hide from me. I can find you.
Okay, I'm out here with the kids working out. So you can't.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you bounty hunter.
Okay, Victor, I have a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sandra.
Are you sure? Okay. I just want to know, how long did it take you to get your first deal? And what kind of deal
That's
was it?
that
Was it
that's
lease option? Was it a sign? Was it a, was it a wholesaling? Like.
my first deal. Okay, so I've been in real estate for a long time. I was a mortgage company owner when the market collapsed. I was completely turned off and out of real estate. But what you'll find is that real estate is in your blood for the rest of your life now. You can't get rid of it. Okay,
Mm,
so
It's in your
eventually I
DNA.
came back to real estate, and it's in your DNA now. And I came back to real estate, and I did it because I found a wholesale deal. So I did a wholesale deal, and I was right back in the itch. Right, this was about three and a half years ago. So I did a wholesale deal, and then right after that, I found another deal that was a fix and flip. So I partnered up with somebody, and we did a fix and flip deal. And then I went into some stupidity that I got into or whatever. And I was just kind of winging it. Like I was just kind of hitting and missing, calling myself a real estate investor, but having no real processes and no systems. So it
mm,
took me another almost 2 years to find a deal after that.
wow.
So, yeah, I can totally and completely, you know, register with you guys when you talk about how difficult it could be. So when the thing that'll cost you the most in this is to not having some sort of system and being consistent. Because if you're consistent, what will happen is your belief will rise, your knowledge will rise, your ability to have strong conversations with their buyers or sellers will rise, especially if you continue to stay within the training process of learning how to talk. Like the thing that has moved me the most has been when I actually got serious about learning how to talk to buyers and sellers.
Okay.
That
How did
changed the
you
game.
overcome that?
Well, I got really. I started getting my training through Claude. I'll be honest with you. I sometimes I always think I'm overpaying Claude, but the truth of the matter is that it's changed my whole program. It's changed my whole life since taking on the seriousness. And there's something I want to say about that. I put so much money into that commitment, more money than I actually had to really commit at the time. Here's what it did. I could not sit around and piss around and not do what I needed to do. It made me have to handle my business, or else I was going to just be giving away a whole lot of money that I did not have and did not how I was going to get. So I kind of put myself and I put myself on the edge with the wind blowing,
Okay.
And
So you can
that's
fall anytime. You
yeah.
can fall up. You can fall anytime.
That's my point. I put myself out there and I said, you know what? You either gonna produce some results or your ass is gonna die. And I literally, because of my inherent, wanting to take it easy, and I mean, I'm not a lazy person, but I like leisure. If you guys get it, you guys are real estate investors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it was a matter of me having to put myself in a place to where you either need to poop or get off this damn pot because you're committed now. And I think a lot of times what happens is if you don't get to that point, you just play with this game. Like you don't really do the damn thing. You just sit out there and you're just playing and you're just doing, fiddling around, and you're not systemizing and you're not working every single day on your business. And, you're kind of, calling yourself an investor. You might even get some cards printed, or, you might even do, when you get serious, because it's the only thing you're going to be thinking about every single day, that you're going to have to make this shit happen. And finally I got there. Finally after sitting around for almost 2 years after having done those two deals, and looking at my accounts and barely, figuring out where I was going to get my next meal, I mean, it got bad, right? Because money goes fast. And so finally, I just got up off my duff, got serious, do it every single day. Like, not a day goes by that I don't have a conversation about real estate, that I don't chase some real estate, that I don't find myself involved in the real estate game. For me, that's what it took.
So it sounds like you have to get discipline. That's what it is. It takes a discipline.
It absolutely does, Sandra. That's the biggest thing.
Can I say something about that? It's not the discipline that it is, it's the more habits. You got to create more habits.
But that's what discipline is.
Habits are discipline.
Discipline, yeah, exactly. You can't, yeah.
Consistency.
It's the discipline of habit. Yeah, exactly. Consistently doing what there is to do every single day,
right.
And doing stuff that's moving you forward every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's moving you forward every single day, right? Whether it be having a conversation, whether it be, contacting a realtor, which I don't do a whole lot of stuff with realtors, but, maybe that's in your program, that might be something that you want to do. And sometimes it's good just to be in the real estate conversation. You talk to a realtor, he's going to give you a perspective, right? That perspective may prove valuable to you in some regard. So, but at least you're in the conversation. You're talking real estate. You're being real estate. You're doing real estate. And then I think what happens is, the universe starts to recognize you as someone who is, worthy of some favor, and you start getting some breaks.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Sandra. Thanks for the question. That was really good.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of no's in the business, but those yeses are the ones that matter.
There you go, Jonathan. Yeah, the no's will outnumber the yeses by thousands. Just so you know, the no's will outnumber the yeses by thousands. But we do so well in this business that 2 yeses will completely roll over 200 no's. In terms of how you feel, in terms of the money you'll make, in terms of the stature that you'll start to acquire, it's more than worth it. Trust me.
Victor.
Yes, sir.
Your advertising, like when you are sending a text blast. When I send a text blast, for instance, and I say, "Hi, I seen your house on Craigslist. I'm definitely interested." Okay. Would you be interested in doing a lease option or creative finance for 18 to 24 months? Okay. As soon as you mention lease options, a lot of people seem like they've heard it. They're getting so many calls from people that a lot of times they're turning off. But when you say,
so what's your answer to that?
So when you say, are you flexible on price or terms? I get way more response. Okay. Because the people there are thinking that they're actually going to get the cash offer. Okay. And so then it's up to me to try to convert them into the lease option. So.
Okay. So what Jerry just said is gold. That's exactly my approach, right? Like, I will send out a text message based on, a conversation I'm having in my head right now. Like, literally, I'll send a text message. Look, I'm trying to buy a house in your neighborhood. Are you at all flexible? And that'll be my text message. I really love this community, and I saw you had a house for sale. I'd love to be able to talk about it if you're flexible on any price or terms. Right? So I sound a little bit more like a regular buyer, first of all. And less like an investor, even though they probably get a sense that investors, regular buyers aren't really that proactive. They'll just go to a realtor or something, but I want to try to humanize it and get it away from especially industry jargon, because everybody and their brother thinks they know what a lease option is. And the truth of the matter is, there's probably people on this call who don't really know what a lease option is.
But the question that
Like
what really
not completely. Go ahead, Jerry.
what really works, like a lot of times when I'm trying to convert, and then I tell that person, uh, I don't know if this would work for you or for me. Um, what if I could give you the full asking price? Would you be flexible on the terms? What do you mean? Like doing something creative with me, like um, say a lease purchase for 18 to 24 months. And I think once you tell them that price, that they're going to get full asking price or close to that, now you have something to talk about. It seems to be working for me.
You have absolutely just described my process. That's exactly how I would recommend for everybody on this call to work it. Okay. Don't be sending out as soon as you say lease option or something like that. The problem with that is that you've disqualified more people than you've qualified.
Right.
Okay. My thinking is the only thing you're trying to do with text messages is get them on the phone. And that's why if you guys are not working on your phone game, if you're not, and you guys get on here and don't role play with me, and I'm really kind of like, you guys, come on, because the role play is where you get to work through all of your little stuff that you got going on in your head, the conversations, the pre-planned answers that never really come unless you ask for them. Because
Right.
a lot of us will think about, and you know this, Jerry, you'll imagine that somebody's going to ask something, right? And the only time they're really going to ask that is because you're thinking about them asking that. Other than that, you can just guide them down the path you want them to go. And if they
Right.
don't want to go, okay, this is maybe this isn't for something we can do right now. Is this conversation over, Mr. Seller?
Right.
So you're
And
exactly on track, Jerry. That's amazing.
And like one of the things too, sometimes you can overthink it. Like I'll be browsing through Zillow and I'm looking
Yeah.
at different properties. And
Yeah.
I start to imagine, in my head, like, oh, this house here, they wouldn't be willing to do a lease option on this house. And okay.
Exactly.
And then I call them, and then I call that person, and that could be the best lead that you could ever get.
Yep. There's a certain detachment that you have to have, and I see your hand loose. I'll get to you right after this. There's a certain detachment you have to have about real estate. Like it's easy, especially because we're in the pretty house game. It's easy to fall in love with the house and the neighborhood and the community, and you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This house is great or whatever. 100% of the time, it's never about the house until it is.
Right.
And it's not about the house until it's under contract. Other than that,
Right.
I could care less. That's why, there's a gentleman on the line with us right now, and he and I have been doing some work together. And, one of the things that I noticed immediately upon us starting to work together is that he would do a lot of analysis. Like a lot of analysis. Like he would have everything figured out before he made the phone call, right? Which is the complete opposite of what you should be doing in this game. There's nothing matters. You have time to analyze after the fact, right? Unless you're looking at doing, a wholesale deal, you want to get some basic numbers. Look and see what the value is, look and see what your 60%, find out what you're negotiating, because the contracts allow you to get out of it if stuff doesn't meet up to your expectations. Every one of our agreements has what we call weasel clauses, right? So you can get out the deal. You're not locked in. Your main thing is to get a signature on a contract so that both of you are now committed, and now you can go to work. Everything else you can figure out. Stop. You don't have to know everything about this neighborhood, this community, your cash on cash return. You don't need to know none of that shit, because until you get somebody on the phone and they agree to your deal, none of that matters. And all you've done is kind of, made yourself feel warm and toasty by doing a lot of activity that means zero to the deal.
Right.
It's not going to matter until it matters.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Aloof had a question. Hold on one second, Jerry. I'll get right back to you. Aloof, you have a question for me?
Yes, I was actually going to ask because I know Justice shared his weekly schedule, basically kind of shows how his week looked. And I was just curious as to if you don't mind sharing what your week looked like. What are you doing Monday through Sunday? Just to kind of give us an idea.
Actually, this is funny. I have my VA on Justin's schedule.
Okay.
But I work every day. I make calls. I make calls whenever. I make calls when I see a call to make. Right? Like I don't do anything else but real estate. Like unlike a lot of you guys, I don't have a bunch of family commitments and a bunch of other things that really, I am in the fortunate or unfortunate, circumstance where I can decide every single day of my life what I'm gonna do.
You lucky.
Yeah, exactly. It's lucky, right? But there's cost to that too, right? I mean, there's also the whole, family dynamic and stuff, right? That I don't participate in for the most part, except when I go to my family. So, it's a trade-off, right? But for me, shit, I work every day.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking is because I'm trying to, I do work off of Justice's schedule, but I'm trying to find a balance. I homeschool and I do other things. So, and that's the reason why I was asking, just to try to, find different schedules, just to test them out and to see what works for me. Because I'm working like you, I'm working every day on real estate, but I'm starting to feel overwhelmed.
Okay, so here's what you have to do. And this is kind of what I do. Even though I work every day, I don't work every hour of every day.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, I may get up in the morning, for instance, and I may make a couple of phone calls, or I may get up in the morning and, right now I'm working with a lot of people. So people call me all the time. So, I'll just, we'll work together and, I'm trying to close deals. I'm trying to get to a certain financial point. Right. So that's my focus right now. But there are certain times like, I may take a whole Sunday off and just, kick it, do nothing, hang out with the homies, go have some cocktails, whatever. And you just have to do that. In your case, if I was you, I would look at my schedule, take a weekly calendar, look at the schedule, and figure out what your family time is, and I would start there.
Okay.
Start with your family. Don't start with real estate.
Right.
Yeah. And so you've already kind of and you may have to make some adjustments to it. You may have to enroll your family into participating in your desired schedule. And I do mean enroll. Sit everybody down, whatever, and say, look, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is what's going to take. I need you guys to work with me here, right? But only you know what that is. So there is no boilerplate for your life. Right. So you look at your life, you look at your week, and you say, okay, Sundays are, let's say, for instance, Sunday, I go to church. So the first half of the day is committed to, my worship. Okay. Saturdays, I like to spend time with the family, but I can work in the morning, for a couple of hours. What can I do in a couple of hours? I can set up scrapes. I can set up scrapes for 2 hours to go out on Tuesday. Right? So there's, so I would always suggest you just take a calendar, block out family time first, and then build your business around it and look at it visually. And then next week, see how it works and make the adjustments if you have to.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm doing, just trying to play around with the schedule and see what works. I feel like if I take a day off, I'm missing out on the deal. So I think it's all in, it's a mind.
Yeah, plus, you on a paper chase right now. You want to get to that feeling of I kind of got this. And so nothing's going to be able to take that away from you. You're going to be in that mode until you hit a couple of singles, a couple of doubles, and maybe a home run back to back like that, and then all of a sudden you'll just breathe. But there's no advice I can give you about where you're at, because I know what it's like.
Right.
And it's like
Yeah.
that's just where you are, and that's what you're gonna do, right? Just make sure that you don't cost yourself, your family, your family time, and your time to relax and recharge.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate that,
yeah, for
Vic. I
sure,
really do.
Luke. I
Thank
hope
you.
hopefully it was helpful to you guys.
Oh no, that was.
Great.
Yep, definitely in that same boat. Homeschooling, got 2 kids, and my work ethic is I go hard as soon as I wake up until I go to bed at 12 o'clock at night. And finding that balancing act is something I have not found yet, because I keep getting more leads, more deals on the plate, and it's hard. I mean, you really got to structure it to, have time with the family, and that's something I'm still trying to figure out. My kids are around me all the time, but I'm constantly on the phone, and it's definitely a struggle. So I feel you on that.
Yeah. At
I
some
think
point, what'll happen is, you'll knock out a few deals. You'll get a little bit of comfort as far as your bank account goes. You'll start to feel a little bit of relief, and then you'll start seeing where it works best for you, and you'll start to enroll your family in supporting you in the schedule that supports you, and you'll both have to compromise, right? You'll compromise some time, and you'll put somebody in place to take care of things that need to be taken care of during that time, maybe a VA, and you'll start to carve out your own niche and your own way of doing it. Justin obviously he's been playing the game for a while. He has a unbelievably attractive system that he's put in place. He knows his schedule. He knows his family knows his schedule. And he's been doing it long enough so everybody has kind of now acclimated and worked out the kinks, right? So his schedule is his schedule. And it is a good place for you to plug in and start. I do it, but I do it mostly with my VA, and her and I try to, stick to that schedule only because we know we have some cooperation. There's some team in it. There's, everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And I kind of like being a team player. I kind of like being on a team. I've been an athlete all my life. So that works for me. May not work for everybody, but it's a place to start. And once you start, then you can start to figure it out, as you go. Figure out the parts that really work for you, and make the adjustments accordingly.
Well said. And I'd
Thank
like
you,
to add
Jonathan.
on that.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Are you talking to me, Victor?
I am.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to add on to earlier. Stone was talking about talking terms and this and that with the sellers, and I found out, through my conversations, using words like terms, really scares the sellers. When I have the conversation, I ask them if they may be open to not using the word terms, but say, for example, renting the property out for like 2 to 3 years, and then we cash you out at the end of the 2 to 3 years. I just found, not using complicated words to the seller seems to be, it's really working for me. So if you can avoid using those words like that, I think you'll have a lot better success rate at getting them to open up, especially on texting and stuff. If you send out, hey, you open to a lease option, that type of thing, I found a lot of people will absolutely shut you down on that. Getting that initial conversation going, just to even have a conversation with them, and then digging into them a little bit further, and then presenting kind of some different offers there. I've been having a lot of great luck.
That's the conversation we were having earlier on. Also with Jerry, we're talking about, being a little bit more conversational in, your approach, even in your text messages. Make them conversational, and then get to the point at which you have to, get technical. But assume that everybody who you're speaking to has no idea about what anything in the real estate industry is about. If you start
Yeah.
from there, you'll find yourself being able to manage your, especially your text messaging and stuff. It would be a lot more attractive because people just want to talk to people. They don't want to come into a conversation feeling like they're already at a disadvantage.
Right.
Right?
And one thing I found, even for like the for sale by owners on Zillow, for example, if I'm running an SMS campaign, the first thing I say to them is, well, I mean, I'm still testing, I don't have it dialed in by no means, but I like to start off the conversation like, hey, the house at 123 Main Street looks amazing. Just give them a compliment right off the bat. Even you ain't even seen the thing, doesn't matter. Just start off with like the compliment. Don't be trying to sell right off the bat, even though they want to sell. Just try to build something. The pictures look great, and anything like that to open up the conversation.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. We have Claude sneaking in again, but in case you guys don't know, and I know Jonathan, you're not really, you haven't really gotten into the gut sales system, even though you've heard me on the phone and you've seen how I manage a conversation. Well, all of this is a result of the teaching and training that I've gotten from Claude, and he is the one. When I was talking earlier about something that I committed to that has changed the game for me and made me have to, step up or step out, is, creating an association with Claude and the things that I've learned, the methodology that I've taken on, the affiliations that I've made as a result of starting with him. I don't think it was an accident. I think it was part of my process. And, I'm really happy to be where I am now and getting to the points that I've been in terms of being able to see some success in this game. So I know you're going to try to sneak out before we get a chance to holler at you, Claude, but I'm not going to let you do it. You're going to have to turn on your camera and you're going to have to say, oh, he's on the phone. So he's probably making money, closing the deal. That's what he does all day long. And he's kind of taught me some things. And one of the things that I'm really starting to have to step up to in my game is something that he preaches all the time, which is attraction marketing. A lot of the conversation we've been having today, guys, is about these leads, right? I'll tell you what, one way to be out of this game in the next 3 months is to think that leads are going to pay your bills for you, because it's an uphill climb. Understand, each lead is a process. They're cold. I don't care how warm you think they are, they're cold when you start. And you're going to have to warm them up to a point at which you can actually do a deal, which is distinct from attracting them to you out of the value that they perceive that you can give them. So without further ado, Claude, thank you so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday once again. And, I know I'm sitting up here singing your praises, man, but I really appreciate everything that you've done, for me in my career.
Well, thank you. Thank you. What do you like that background?
I love it, man.
Is that
Halloween is here?
Yes, we
It is.
gotta laugh, man. Oh my God. Everything you said, I couldn't have said it better. We either have to find leads, chase leads, follow up on leads, or create or attract leads. And I'll tell some truth here right now. Let me have a sip of courage here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bottom line, I'm a lazy investor. Okay. So we've all done the cold calls, and some are good and some are horrible. And the thing is, don't we all love warm calls? I mean, who doesn't like a warm call where they know who you are, they contacted you? And I've devoted my marketing strictly to an attraction type marketing, so that when I call somebody back up, I'll say, hey, Victor, hi, Claude. I saw you're on my webpage. I saw you wanted information on rent to own. Are you a buyer, seller, investor? Tell me how I can help you today. And that's such an easy conversation when you're following up.
That's comfortable.
And to me, I've devoted my whole marketing towards those, and I get leads every day. I get a lot of leads every day. I call them quality leads. And to me, they just make my life so much easier speaking with it could be someone who's went to my webpage, saw a YouTube video, found me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And so I devoted, so I'll do like one good video. I'll try to make it very informative, non-commercial, contemporary, and I'll place that one video on a multitude of media formats, social media formats. And that works really well and I build up a nice database. So even if they say no today, maybe I'll send out a mass email to all those people. By the way, I'm working on that right now. And I'll give you, can I slightly change the subject a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm up here in Winter Park, Colorado. They're estimating like 300 or 400 people lost their homes up here. It's really sad.
Wow.
I have several friends of mine have lost their homes. And guess what the number one problem is for all those people right now? Housing.
Housing, yeah.
Housing. So anybody have any so my one idea is to send out an email to homeowner associations, Chamber of Commerce, anybody in my database locally. I'm sending out a mass email. Hey, we need housing right now. These are people living in motels and RVs and stuff, 300 families that have lost everything. Anybody have any suggestions? This is like a brand new problem. I need some brainstorming.
Yeah,
oh,
Claude.
wow.
How are you doing?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I lived in Summit County 4 years and up in Vail as well. So I know where you're at. And I was actually a manager for a motel outside of Vail there. And it's not really the greatest of living conditions. I mean, really, unless they've made a drastic turnaround over the last couple of years since I've been there. But maybe the Minturn Mountain Motel in Vail area there. And Summit County, as you know, is pretty much the same as where you're at, Winter Park. The housing is so limited. I mean, not just that, it's so expensive. But I'm a former property manager up in Summit. And I would just probably start with reaching out to the property management companies there, Summit Resort Group, Wilderness.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Jonathan. Yeah, property management companies. That's a great place to start. Obviously, there's probably nobody advertising right now for housing because everybody's probably filled up at this point, right? So, I mean, where else can you go? Do they have mobile home parks?
Not many up there.
Yeah,
we have one or two. One in Granby, which was hit by they had to evacuate, and the fire came very close. But that's a good idea. Property management. We're coordinating. I think they raised $500,000 already in funds to help people.
Nice.
And we're hoping FEMA comes in pretty soon. But talk about a supply and demand problem right now. And these are people who they don't need free housing. Some of them they just want housing. They're willing to pay even for it.
Claude, there's another one, a motel right there at the Hot Springs. I've got the lady's information. I'd have to dig it in the contacts.
I know.
You know where it's at. There's a motel right there. That may be an option.
Sure. The hotels here in Winter Park, which is a ski area, are all filled. They even have some of the business buildings. They have evacuees in those buildings too. But can you imagine overnight, you got maybe 300 or 400 families that need housing.
Yeah, wow.
I'm thinking of maybe we'll even start another mobile home park. See if we can do an emergency mobile home park or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. Bring in somebody. Maybe there's some companies that would be willing to, contribute something. Some of these build. You know what I'm saying. Call some folks and see. Look, can you help us out? And there's something in it for you. But maybe you can bring in a few of the temporary housing units or whatever, and that kind of thing.
That is a great, I know people who are working to get FEMA in here, and FEMA does have temporary housing. We just got to give them a location where they can have access to electric and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Of land.
Thank you. I knew you guys would come up with something. Thank you.
Got some brains up in here.
You know, when I'm a big believer in brainstorming, sitting together like we're doing, like here, like you do wonderfully every Wednesday, sitting here, and someone has a problem in real estate, buying, selling, marketing, investing. And in this mass group of all this combined intelligence, someone has an answer, or a bunch of us have answers, you know? I really believe, I love masterminding when we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Andrew Carnegie said, two minds together create a third greater mind.
Absolutely.
And that's really the bottom line to brainstorming, right? Where you just start to go way outside of your small little capacity into a whole nother level that you didn't even know you had.
I'll share with you one of my little secrets of success is I do well, you can't see it with this background here. I do mind maps. So even the things you guys just shared with me right now, I made my little circles here. And I wrote down property management, hotels, FEMA temporary housing, and I throw them all on a mind map, a single sheet of paper. And I do this with my real estate, with sales, with marketing. To me, if I have one sheet with those ideas or information, does anyone else do that? I also have an application I use, MindNode, but sometimes it's just easier to take a piece of paper and a pen and just knock it out. Anybody else anybody else master mind map like I do?
Yeah, I don't mind map as much, but I do notes and then I separate into. So I guess it's called mind mapping, but probably not in the same format.
Yeah, just putting ideas down and everything like that. Were you talking earlier about like generating leads and things like that? Was that an issue or a question?
Yeah, we were having a conversation about some of the leads that we're getting and the quality of leads, and Jerry was asking about what kind of results I'm having from the leads that I'm pursuing. And so it really all comes back to, and I was so glad you came on, because leads that are generated that I attract are a complete different conversation than leads where, because every lead, like I pull down a list, let's say a vacant property. Well, now I have to go from ice cold to warm that lead up to some level at which they're actually willing to listen to me, and where I can get through the noise of everybody else that has been contacting this person, because that sale has been sold to 95,000 people. So it makes our life a whole lot more difficult. And I think if a new person gets into this conversation about leads and they're just buying leads and then trying to think that those leads are either good or bad, they all are, they're neither good or bad, they're just leads. But when you attract your lead, now it's a different conversation. So I think that's where we were going with it.
Oh yeah, it's so much. It's just common sense. Warm leads are so much better than cold leads. But the key is you got to start somewhere. And I've been teaching and mentoring people for a long time, and I know from my own experiences, we make a couple cold calls, and we either get voicemail or we get somebody on the phone with that little kind of stinky attitude and everything. We don't want to make any more phone calls. And that's the death of, that's where success just goes out the window. The key to this business, you can forget about all the other stuff. The key to this business is, can you speak to 1, 2, 3 people a day? Can you have good conversations? So even if you don't close them, you put them, you follow up with them maybe later, but you have good conversations, nice people. You don't get those whip marks, you don't get the bruising. Yeah. And you can make more phone calls. So how do we protect? I've always focused on how do we protect ourselves so that we have good calls, even if they're cold, and so that we can make more and more. Because I think a lot of people get so abused on the phone. Oh, I love real estate, I want to make money. And then they get on the phone with people and they get these.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, well, time to wax the car rather than make phone calls or something. And that's the shame of this business, because the sales part is the most important part. So if I can find a way to get on the phone with somebody and sound different, this is psychology and acting ability. Can I do these pattern interrupts, which I know you talk about too? Can I say, can I sound familiar to that person? Say hello, Victor.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, this is Claude. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you. We just had a snowstorm here and everything. It's the house is gone, right?
No. Who's this again?
This is Claude Diamond.
Oh. Hey, Claude. How you doing?
Good. We've never spoken before, right?
Right.
Do you,
But yeah, just the attitude that you had was like, you know me.
Yeah, exactly. So using familiarity or opening with a question rather than sound like you're like, listen, we all get too many scam or robocalls or telemarketers. We get them, and in the first 5 seconds, I don't know about everybody else, but I think I just want to get off the phone with these people, right? And that so most people, by the words they use and the style they use, they get rejection in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We can't make money if I know I'm calling up people all day and I'm bothering them. I'm not enthusiastic to make more phone calls.
Right.
And, but did you ever when you have a good call with somebody and it's, oh, well, yeah, I do have a problem. We're moving to Texas and the house, we don't want to leave the house empty. And then, oh, Mr. Prospect, maybe I have 1 or 2 solutions for you. Can I ask you a few more questions and I'll make you a proposition, or maybe we can do business today, or you can say, get lost. Fair?
Fair.
And those are good conversations. So even if I don't do business with them, I've got a follow up, or at least I got off the phone saying, okay, maybe I can do business with them in 90 days. I had a call like that this morning. I followed up with somebody and the problem still exists for them. And we talked a little, we had a nice conversation. We have a secondary meeting at 4:30 today. What are my odds of closing a person or doing business, generating income with someone who's comfortable with me and I'm comfortable with them? Likability, we call it.
Yeah.
I
have a question there.
It's in a high percentile.
Yeah, it's so much. You see, I always say this, Philip, I'll acknowledge you in a second. I think the salesman has to come first. If we don't protect our ego, if we're just going out there and getting beat up every day, nobody can continually do this thing.
No.
I think the most important part in this business is to practice sales like you do every Wednesday. Thank you. And just get so comfortable in using different approaches, being very creative so that you can open the door with more people, even if you don't have those warm leads yet.
Yeah.
Do you want to let?
I have a question with that.
Oh, go ahead, Philip.
My question is, what if they say, oh, I don't have a house for sale?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, sir. Do you know why I'm calling? So this has nothing to do with real estate? Sir, we lost Philip. Okay.
Did we lose it?
Bottom line,
Okay.
Bottom line, if they say, well, I don't have any real estate for sale. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I made a mistake there. Were you looking to, did you previously have something for sale? Is it an escrow? You weren't looking to buy or invest, were you? I've got some great properties available right now. Here's the rule. It's over when you say it's over. Salesmen don't get thrown out. They bail out.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we give up too easy. Oh, I'm sorry, click. No, you say, oh, gee, I wonder why you didn't have anything to do with real estate. Always go to those open-ended questions for more information and closed-ended questions for closing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Open-ended
absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, they can't say yes, no, uh-huh. Have we all met that prospect?
Right. That's the death of a salesman right there. You get enough of those, you won't be able to make any more calls.
Listen, when I went on dates, I even tell my wife, when we were dating, I used to take a little cheat sheet with topics to talk about. Go, what's the worst thing to do on a blind date or a new person? Listen to crickets, right? Or sitting on the table and
yeah, not be able to have a conversation, not connect.
Oh yeah, you're not connecting and it's quiet. Nobody knows what to say. Has anyone besides me been in that uncomfortable position?
Yeah, you know better.
Yeah, absolutely. So we prepare and practice by learning how to ask these open-ended questions. Oh, Mr. Walker, that beautiful home's gone already, right? Must be gone. I know that area. That's a lovely area. You sold it or rented it already, sir?
No, no, I haven't sold it yet. I have a
Oh my
bunch of
God.
calls though.
Oh my God. And this is your home, if you don't mind me asking, sir?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Why are you moving? That's such a great place to live. You sure you want to do this?
Oh man, I'm definitely sure. It's just time for me to go. I'm tired of these, California taxes and everything like this. I think I need to. I'm looking to retire, so I need to, I need to save some more money.
Oh, okay. But there's no urgency here. You're back. I mean, if it happens next year, 6 months from now, that'll work out fine, right?
Well, Claude, I'd really like to do it by the end of the year.
Whew. You wouldn't want to do it sooner, though.
Talk to me.
Oh, boom. What am I? That is pure reverse psychology there. So you sure you want to sell your home? That forces Victor, the prospect, to justify his decision. You start to get little bits of the truth. And now you know how to, if you ask the right questions, the prospect will tell you how to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go in there. Well, I want to move. I'm tired of California. And then you go and you get more and you find out, oh, he bought another house already in Phoenix, or he has family or a new girlfriend in Phoenix, or something like that. And you get more and more information. My kids are living over there now. And then you can paint a picture in their mind. Wow, imagine you sold your home. Yeah. And you were able to meet your girlfriend in Phoenix and see your kids more often and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Is on a 1 through 10, how urgent is that for you, sir? 10 meaning very urgent.
Claude, I would say, now that you've kind of, brought me into this zone, I would say it's pretty urgent, man. I'm probably about a good 7.5 to 8.5.
Oh, that's you're such a good father. You want to see your kids and more often and everything. I miss my kids. They're grown up and it's like, gosh, texting them is not the same as living near them and getting together for Sunday dinner. The family gets together on a dinner table, like Thanksgiving's coming up. Can you imagine your kids there and everything?
Yeah.
And grandma's in the kitchen. You got that good you got that turkey and ham in the oven. You remember those wonderful smells in the house on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can help you do that today, so I can accommodate you. Boom, and then you go into it. But now you have the information. Now you created an urgency. You took his temperature a little bit. Is he a 1 or a 2 or an 8, 9, or 10? Does he have the money? Does he have the ability to make the decision? These are all the great information. So you don't waste your time with somebody. And you get them emotionally involved. That's why I was talking about the ham and the turkey and the family around the table and everything. Did everybody hear truth or everybody? Did everybody have that picture of Thanksgiving with the family and the good food? Was that in everybody's mind just now?
Absolutely.
Yes. That is a form of what Milton Erickson called conversational hypnosis. Putting that picture in someone's mind, getting them emotionally involved. Do you think that makes selling easy?
Oh, absolutely.
Easier? Yes.
I'm hungry now. I'm hungry now.
Too. Oh,
Thank you, Claude. Thank you, Claude. Thank you.
Plus, it also creates a certain level of bonding. We always talk about, when you become their guy, and, they don't even want to deal with anybody else. They'll just basically hang up the phone on anybody else because you created that bond. That's where you were going with that conversation. Because now, this guy gets me. I really like this Claude guy. I think I want to do business with Claude as opposed to anybody else who calls me with their nonsense.
How easy is it to hang up on a stranger bothering you at dinner time?
Oh, it's quite easy.
Okay. How difficult is it? Does anybody here have a friend or a neighbor or something, and you want to get off the phone with them, but they just keep going on and you don't want to be rude, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's easy for
we
me.
all
That's
have
easy for
those.
me. That's
That's
easy for
hard.
We
me.
all
Right.
have those.
That's hard for me
Me
sometimes.
too.
You know,
Me too.
I don't know about everybody. I'll signal my wife, say, call me on the other phone, you know.
Right. Hit the
So
escape hatch.
yeah. So, but the thing is, we're in a business here. The more people we talk to, the more good conversations, the more offers we make. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. Now the math is in your favor.
Yep.
And this
Yeah.
is math. Okay. We say it's a numbers game, but I don't like that term. You know, I can't be a drone ant and just make call after call. You know, some people talk about, oh, we made 10,000 phone calls today and everything. Yeah, but how many good calls did you have out of those 1,000 calls? Did you talk to one or two people and have a in-depth, a good conversation with some potential?
Claude, let me ask you, have you ever used a dialer?
No.
I,
Honestly,
I knew the answer to that already. I knew you're not the dialer type, and neither am I. Like, I hear all these people talking about Mojo dialer and this dialer and that dialer, and I'm like, I just can't buy into the whole dialer thing. I like to talk to people.
I do too. There's nothing wrong with the dialer if you have a good list. Now, if you take the dialer and you have a dedicated opt-in list, I have a database list going back years and years of clients, of prospects, of contacts. If I
Yeah.
took those people who know who I am already, aren't those literally warm prospects?
Yes.
Okay, if I programmed into a Mojo dialer, I'm going to get too high a response rate. I'm
Yeah.
going to get a very high response rate. But
Yeah.
you know what? If I have like when I do a special or something like that, Black Friday or something like that, and I
Yeah.
send out an email to that dedicated list, you cannot believe how high the response rate is with purchases, with emails and texts. So a dedicated
Yeah.
list would work, but just buying an obscure list and they don't know who you are. You don't know if they
Yeah.
have a need or a greed or a problem, and you're just working through the numbers like that. I mean, there's some people who do it consistently and buy very good lists, and
Mhm.
they basically filter it down, funnel it down till they get a couple people or
Yeah.
lonely people.
One or the other.
Yeah. I'd rather
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
someone, if someone emails me today and I get no phone number, I'll send them back a video and say, oh, Mr. Walker, I'm so glad you came. You went to my webpage and everything. I've got some free, I got a free book, a free mind map, a free, call me back today about 12:30 or contact a link on Zoom here. It's in the email, or I'll contact them personally with a video. The response rate I get when I make those personal, when I do a warm video to them is very high,
Mm-hmm.
much high, because I make it very personal, back to familiarity. You were on my webpage. I'm so glad. Thank you for coming there. I have another free gift for you if you can Zoom me today at 12 o'clock. Now I'm talking to someone face to face on Zoom. Even if I don't make the sale, it's a pleasurable experience. You know, we get so beat up in sales sometimes.
Yeah, that's important what you just said too, because we do get beat up a lot, and you need to have pleasurable experiences. While you don't want to lose focus on the fact that you're there to make money, you like to have, good pleasurable conversations with people, connect with other human beings, create some value in somebody's life, maybe even have them create some in yours. This game becomes a whole different game at that point.
You become my friend when you walk in my moccasins. When we get likability, trust, you use the brilliant word bonding.
Mm-hmm.
When I get bonding and hey, gee, yes, sir, I can make you a multiple choice offer. I can send you a letter of intent. If I send you a contract today, what would you like to see in it so we can do business when we speak at 4:30 this afternoon? Or should I leave you alone? And maybe you're not ready to do business. What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Walker? Where should we go from here?
No, go ahead and send it over. I'd love to take a look at it.
Okay. And could you do me a favor? Let's talk at 4:30 on Zoom. And if you don't want to do this, you don't have to tell me you'll get back to. Just fire me. We'll still be friends.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Boom. No pressure. I'm still in control, but I remove the pressure. Have you ever met, I'm still waiting. I would love to meet a salesperson in life insurance, car sales, anything, who said to me, Claude, nope, Claude, don't worry. You don't have to make a commitment. We're not here to pressure you. You can tell me, you can say no to me. You can fire me. I'm still waiting to meet that person. And I've been teaching this for years. Why do you think I do? Why do you think I approach people like that?
So you take the pressure off of them. Yeah. And give them permission to look, if this is not for you, feel free to just end it. And I won't, my feelings won't be hurt. So you don't have to have that angst building up behind you.
And what do you think goes through their mind when you remove the pressure? Do you think you get towards that bonding that you were mentioning before?
Exactly. You start to get that connection with another person, and that point at which they really get the sense that you give a damn about them rather than making some sort of sale to them.
You give me a handful of people every day to speak with. Not a lot of people, because I'm a lazy guy. A couple of people every day. Yeah. And just even if I don't make a sale, but I speak to a couple people every day that I follow up on, and I'm consistent in that behavior, you got a blank check in front of you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Your background just changed.
Yeah, I decided to I'm actually outside at the park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I decided to show the trees.
Would you guys like to see what 10,000 feet looks like?
Yeah, show it. Hey, and I'm so happy when you said that you guys got some snow, because that was crucial. I saw the big cloud that occurred afterwards, and that's probably the prettiest sight you ever seen up there. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's that mountain there. That's 12,000 feet. I'm close to 10,000, and nice. We got close to a foot of snow right now.
Without that snow, that fire would still be raging, wouldn't it?
I'd be living in your house now.
Yeah.
I'd be.
You'd be on your way to Cali.
Yeah, I would have been.
It was a snow dance, wasn't it? It was a snow dance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's my naked snow dance. It always works.
What?
Yeah.
I just did a bad visual here, right?
And I'm like, oh God. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think, and Claude, he'll share some more, and you can go to his website, ClaudeDiamond.com. And if you're not already affiliated with Claude, and get information here comes trouble. If you're not already affiliated with Claude, and he'll give you some free information, but I'll tell you what, the attraction marketing is where, this conversation started, you guys. And we've been having a lot of marketing conversation throughout this particular training today. I'm moving more and more towards it. If you haven't noticed, Justin is like, he's turned up the volume on all of his attraction marketing stuff, and it's changing the game for him, and it's slowly changing the game for me. And it starts letting you have those conversations. Sandra, you asked about this. Those conversations that are comfortable and easy, and people are calling you, and you already have the wall already down, and now you can actually talk to these people about solving their problem instead of, who the hell are you? Once you pass who the hell are you, you're in a much better conversation. Trust me.
So speaking of marketing, Mr. Attraction is in the building.
In the house. Justin Chamness. Unmute yourself so we can hear you, buddy.
Here you go.
It's so cold. Oh, yeah, that's what I need. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys were showing your weather. I thought I'd show you a little piece of my weather here.
There you go. Yeah, we love it.
Is that a penguin in the background?
That's it.
Is that a penguin? Right. You up north a little bit?
Yeah. Cold here. I got a fire going and a fireplace and everything. I had to walk over to it and push that button because I lost the remote.
Oh.
Justin, did you hear our conversation before? A little bit? Yeah, that's why I hopped on, because this is an incredible session. and it's just some real good stuff coming out. And I wanted to pop on and see how many people in here do not have their cameras on.
I know. What are you scared of?
What's going on, yo?
I don't bite. Justin bites a little, but I never bite. So
yeah, but when
I only bite on demand.
When I bite, it feels good. See.
Oh, okay. They're still getting over my naked snow dance. So wait,
that imagery.
Just from your point of view, how much fun is it when you have a good phone call with somebody who's, gee, maybe this guy can help me, and you're having that adult to adult conversation. You might not make a sale, or maybe you will. You don't know yet, but you're communicating without the stress and pressure. How much do you love that?
It's actually, I don't know about anybody else, but I like to make money. I like to be in control of my business. I like to be in control of the predictableness of the business and have consistency instead of unpredictability.
Good word.
I also like to be able to get on the phone with these people and use a few techniques, just a few, and make them fall in love with Justin in just a matter of no time. And I was watching a video this morning that said it was a sales training video, and the guy was wrong. Okay, there's a lot of bad sales training out there. The guy said, "You got to do this. Connect with them and build rapport, and that's not going to happen quick. You're going to have to develop this over time." And I'm like, "Good grief! Am I trying to date these people because I want to get married, or am I trying to buy something that they already have in mind to sell?"
Yeah.
Okay, there's a totally different scenario here. So I don't need to chase these people at all. They should be chasing me, and in fact, I insist on it. Is that okay for me to insist on that?
It's about self-esteem.
Absolutely.
I had a guy today. He scheduled a podcast with me, and he said 5 minutes before the podcast, and I got a pretty busy schedule sometimes. And he's 5 minutes before the podcast, he schedules with me. Oh, well, a couple things came up. Can we reschedule? And I texted back, no.
You know what? I'm gonna start doing that.
Nice.
Tell me if I'm a nasty guy or not. This was I was doing him a favor. My schedule is like, okay, it was an hour that I could have done many other things with, but I blocked an hour for this guy. And the last minute, what does he think of me? And what, by canceling like that?
Your time don't mean nothing to him.
So I just texted back no, and all the mea culpas and apologies and everything, and I just ignored the rest because I just said, okay, you're on. I have a special list in my database of people who do things like that to me. I'm not going to tell you the name, but it's the name, but it starts with an A. And I think of putting a value in our time, having good conversations, going to the bank when
today,
baby,
today.
I was gonna say now.
Hey, speaking of going to the bank today, look at it. You got another superstar on the building.
Yes, sir. I saw Felipe try to sneak in, and you better turn your camera on.
Couldn't miss it, guys. I'm so sorry. I was actually tied up on a phone call trying to make money today. Key takeaway was the more I do real estate, the more I like sales training. That's for sure. So,
Nice.
so yeah, I mean, it was a lot of back and forth and all that. It happens, when we have sellers trying to renege on their commitments, but like Claude taught, which is a great legal advice, where in the contract says, Mr. Seller, that you can backpedal when we're scheduled to close next week? Oh, well, I didn't know you were wholesaling the deal and blah, blah, blah. And I go like, you probably mistaken me for somebody who gives a S about that.
Now you got to be a little nice once in a while.
That's the rational inside, and then of course the thespian outside is the one that says like, hey, I understand. Let's just talk about it. Let's figure it out. And we use transaction analysis and it works. Just to put it that way, we salvaged 3 deals today. that would, like the team was like
Nice.
running, like they were like, like a chicken with the head off. It's like, like, and I go like, guys, just let me call these people. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, 3 years ago, without guts, it would have been a pissing match. It would have been confrontational, and the more you tell a prospect that they cannot do or get something, the more they want it. It's just the nature of life. It's scarcity. It's like, Mr. Seller, you can't back out of the contract. It's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean I can't? Wait, you were such a nice guy. How come I can't?
Sir, I appreciate it. And you strike me as a gentleman too, as a man of your word. So let me ask you this, before my next call is to my attorney. Where in the contract says that you can back out because we're assigning the contract?
Well, where does it say? I guess it doesn't say that.
Yeah, it doesn't, which means?
Well, but you were such a nice guy and everything like that. I mean, let me tell you the truth, okay? I just found out my daughter's accepted to Harvard, and I had to give them $20,000
Good for you.
down.
I commend you for that. What is she going to be going to study?
She's going for her medical degree, and I had to come up with a lot of money real fast and everything.
I mean, you're a good man. You're a good man. I commend you for trying to help your daughter. You don't want her to go into debt. She's probably going to an Ivy League school, which is great. Now, let me ask you this, because again, you strike me as a fair and reasonable guy. Before my next call is to my attorney, you don't want to have this property tied up in litigation for the next 2 years, which is probably going to add up to the $73,000 yearly tuition of your daughter. Can we resolve this like two adults?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. I can't. Can we restructure the payments, the note on it? If you could do that for me, I'd be eternally grateful. Maybe just for 6 months, something like that.
Let me think about it.
Give him the Academy Award, will you, Victor?
Typically, oh my God. I mean, let me ask you this, Claude. I'm not saying I will, because probably my wife, she's, like also the one that keeps all of our accounting in place. If I was to get her to accept to modify the note for the next 6 months, tell me what you think it's fair and reasonable.
Oh, I think that's all I need. Just a smaller. If we could cut the payment down, $500 a month off the payment for 6 months, and then everything will be back to normal again for me.
Let me see if I get this straight. So you're saying that if we can cut down the payment for 6 months, 500. Let me do some numbers. I'm going to crunch some numbers, trying to do some mental gymnastics. I want to work with you. You're a good man.
Oh, thank you. You don't know how much I appreciate this. Thank you. Off the role play. Usually what happens is then the prospect who is adversarial in the beginning, and Felipe does this so brilliantly, the way he struggles, and everything. And then the prospect ends up thanking you. They're grateful to you for the modification. But see how he got tough in the beginning? Yeah. And everything. And then he was playing good cop, bad cop. He was playing both roles at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a conversation about being in litigation and made it sound nice.
he used that L word. Litigation.
Yeah, but notice this. There's the EQ. This guy has an EQ, which is the daughter going to Harvard. You have to make him feel good about it because he's trying to help her out, and probably he's generally a hardworking guy that he's just trying to help her out, and that's why we want to. That's when what's 2 comes so helpful, where you can just imagine for a moment. This house is sold. You're able to pay for her tuition. And she's not getting into student debt, like, how would she feel about that? How would you feel about that? You know what? I've made a decision, Claude. I'll let the 6 months go. We're gonna reduce it by 500. But my God, what would you like to do next?
This is great. Thank you so much. I love your pregnant pauses, by the way. They're agony for me.
Him and Jimmy got that down to a science.
Thank you.
I have to go. I got an appointment here that I got to prep for and everything. But thank you for allowing me to join in, Victor and Justin.
And me too, guys. I have a 2 p.m. and I appreciate you guys. I just try to like log in to say hi because this is an amazing call, amazing group that you guys have going on. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys. Take care, everybody.
Have a great week. Make some money. Make some money.
Get good phone.
You need to make some money. All right.
That's right.
Take care.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Did Justin leave too?
No, I'm here.
Hey,
that's
buddy.
always a plus, man. Every Wednesday, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're loving this, man. I appreciate all you guys. Justin, appreciate you, bro, for everything that you do. That's why I show up every week, man, because you do.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. You are a faithful, loyal kind of man, and I really respect you a lot. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Did you want to share anything specifically with the group? Anything? We did have some folks asking earlier about your schedule, so the theme of today seemed to have gone into scheduling as well as generating leads or dealing with the quality of leads that we have. So it morphed into a conversation about moving more towards attraction marketing, which is something that, we're all trying to do, which will raise the quality of our conversations and our opportunities to close deals because you have people reaching out to you for what you have to offer. And then obviously the scheduling. Luz asked a question earlier about setting up her schedule, and I told her that I have my VA on your schedule, but my schedule is a little bit different only because, my life is a little bit different. But I have her kind of on your schedule, and we kind of work it that way. But I work every day because I have the ability to. Yeah. Did you want to speak on any one of those subjects real quick? Maybe share some of your insights on it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody that has a specific question, that's fine. Okay. I won't keep you long here. I know you guys have been going for a couple hours now. So, but yeah, the consistency of it is the important part. It's not just, it's not the days. There's nothing magical about doing a scrape on Sunday or setting up your text blasts on Monday or having your text go out on Thursday and doing pre-qualification. There's nothing magical about the timing. It's just the consistency of it. So, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and there's some folks that it fits better, to not do my routine, but it fits them better to generate like 100 scrapes and text a day or something like this, or 100 to 150, 200 a day or something. And so, that way they can sit down, do a scrape, do a text blast on yesterday's scrape, because it takes 24 hours. And then have leads coming in the next half hour, So if that fits you, that's okay too. In fact, Mark and I, Mark here in the Zoom room, we were talking about yesterday setting up a little bit of a kind of an accountability routine for folks that want to do that instead of my routine. So the important thing is get on a routine. You are the sum total. Right now, your life and everything in it and everything going on in it, for the most part, it is a sum total of your daily routine, of your daily habits, what you do, what you say, and what you think. Okay, right? I mean, hey, everybody, it's Tony Robbins. But for real, there's some truth to this. And if you're not cashing real estate checks, the bottom line is, either one, probably you're just not including real estate appropriately into your routine. Okay, probably. Or number two, you are appropriating real estate into your routine, but you just lack the skill sets so far. Okay. And that's okay too, because that's what we're here to practice. And that's what Victor's here for, 2 hours today to practice and all that. So you guys know that we are here to help you up your skill game, but I can only do so much when it comes to helping you get on that daily routine. Okay. I cash real estate checks because my daily routine includes activities that leads to checks.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And I know it's like, okay, it's simple, but how can I do it? Okay, you've got to start changing habits just a little. If you were going to lose 20 pounds, what would you do first? Somebody tell me, what's the first thing you would do if you're going to lose 20 pounds?
Change my diet.
Stop eating.
What would you do? Change your diet.
Start running. Start running.
That's a good one. Stop eating is such a general thing. Change your diet is such a general thing. Give me something specific.
Create a routine.
I would
have a schedule.
Okay, so we have all these answers, and most of them are generalized answers. Let me give you a specific answer, like what I'm kind of hunting for here. If you wanted to lose 20 pounds, the first thing you want to do is cut out soda pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's more specific. Sure. That's more specific. Right. If you want a real estate business, you want a real estate check, then change your routine, cut out 1 hour of Netflix and plug in 1 hour of scraping.
Makes sense.
Okay. It's not enough to say scraping Sunday. Okay. That's what I say, but you have to somehow figure out how to just stop drinking pop. You see what I'm saying? That's the metaphor. What's another specific thing you would do if you were going to lose 20 pounds? Jimmy Jean said, he said, run. You're going to exercise. You're going to do some exercise. Okay. When are you going to do that? It's not enough to just say exercise. What
Monday,
kind of exercise?
Tuesday, Wednesday, set up a day, time frame.
Before work or after work?
It's going to be after work or before
either
work.
Or.
Wake up early in the morning to get it knocked out, then go to work.
Okay, there you go. So you have to have a routine. You have to change your daily habits if you want to change your results. That's simple. Any questions?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for real. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean that's cut and dry. That's making it simple, but it's simple, but it's not easy. But that's what we have to do if you're going to make a commitment to do this business. Or any business for that matter, any change that you're going to make in your life, you have to start with those kind of commitments and just stick to them every day. And like Justice talked about, if you need support, if you need a partner, if you need somebody on your team, just reach out. That's what we got the club here for. You know, we can all work together to do it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Love you guys. Yeah. Victor,
hey,
awesome.
Love
dude.
You too, brother.
That's an awesome show today, buddy.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, you guys, it's time for us to log off. I want to make a quick roll call, man, because I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. I don't want nobody to go unrecognized. Let's see: Mark Richardson, Philip Kyle, Anderson Willis, Aaron, Edward, Jaime, Jeremy, Jimmy Jean, Jonathan. Let me make sure I can scroll up. Jonathan was the last one. Marvin Elmore, Marianne, Michael Goolsby. Let me see if I can't seem to scroll up. Oh, here we go. Orlando. Hey, if I missed anybody, it's because I can't scroll up on my laptop. I'm outside today because they're doing some work on the house. Just wanted to say thank you guys. Does anybody have any last questions before we log off and go back to work and go make some money today?
I do.
No, you did a great job.
What did you do? Where did you find these videos at?
I'm sorry?
Where can I find these videos at?
What video?
The one we're doing now.
Go to Justin Chamness on YouTube. Most of them are posted there. Or join this group on Facebook. You can search Justin Chamness, Real Estate Wholesalers Club on Facebook.
Okay, you can do that.
All right. Yeah,
I probably get a call later on today. What time would be good for you?
Today would be probably sometime after 3 o'clock my time. I'm in California, so right now it's 11:05.
That's 6 o'clock. Okay, that's 6 o'clock for me.
Okay, so you can give me a call anytime after that.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody got any questions? Anything we haven't covered? Anything? Hey, I appreciate all you guys for being here, man. You guys make this an amazing. It's getting better and better every single week. We're having people jump on and give us golden nuggets. Just go out there. If anybody needs to reach me or whatever, feel free to. I'm on Facebook. If you have trouble finding me, it's Victor M. Walker on Facebook. So you can find me there, DM me or do whatever. I'll be glad to help you any way that I possibly can. All right. Hey, you guys make it an amazing week. Thanks again, and love all you guys. Bye-bye.